Hey, what's up? Today, a different type of video. I'm going to try to keep it nice and short. I got a few different things that I want to talk about. I'm going to jump right into that. First and foremost, of course, thank you. The channel has seen some awesome growth over the last 2 days, 3 days, whatever. We're almost at 500 subs. I can't believe the last two videos have done extremely well. So thank you to all the people checking out those videos and all the new subscribers. Hello, welcome. It's nice to see you. Because the channel is growing, I'm going to do something that I had kind of mulled over doing for quite some time, and that is going to be promoting the Discord channel. On all of my videos, I have included a link to a Discord channel. I have it up here right now on the screen. I haven't. This has been around for a long time, and it's not very active. In fact, it's basically only me sitting in here. And I kind of debated whether or not I wanted to actually promote and send people over to this Discord. But I have been thinking about doing something, and I think it's a very good opportunity to finally promote the Discord. As some of you probably know, and if you go back and watch some of my older videos, you will know that I am, and definitely was, a very large boy. I used to weigh about 350 pounds, something like that. So here's a quick little picture. I'll pop it up on the screen of me, COVID era Matt. And COVID era Matt was a big boy. And then I think around 2022, it was December 2021, I made the decision. 2022, I really started. I went on a weight loss journey, and I have been on that journey since then. And I have had quite a bit of success getting down, losing like 150 pounds, basically, I lost. Well, for the past 6 months or so, I have taken kind of a break, letting my body heal and just get used to things, putting on a little bit more weight. But I think it's time now to go back on that weight loss journey. And I thought, you know what? It's a good time to maybe bring some people along, even if it's just another single person that is looking to become a little bit healthier or whatever. Maybe we can share our journeys together. So in the Discord, I am going to create a new channel. The new channel is going to be called, I don't know, Health Journey? Let's call it Health Journey. Yeah, sure. That's a nice way of saying that. So Health Journey, I'm going to create this. I'm going to keep it in the Discord, and it's going to be a place where we can come in and share our progress, share the things that we are doing, the changes that we're making in our life, the activity that we're doing, and all of that good stuff. So I am going to have this in here. I hope some of you join up, even if you are just lurking. Cool, maybe you come around, you see some people's progress, and it kind of encourages you to also make some changes in your life. So yeah, let me know what you think about this idea, and if you are also looking to lose a little bit of weight like me, come on in, say hi, and all that good stuff. And then additionally, of course, we have lots of channels in here. I would love people to come in and start discussing some things. I updated the channels, got rid of Explorer, put Pioneer finally in, and it's been a long time since anybody talked in these channels, so come on in if you want to give me some deck list suggestions. I would love to see some deck list suggestions. Let's see your pictures. If you have some awesome screenshots of some wicked things that you did, or if you see some MTGO or MTGA client mess ups, you can come in and show us those fun pictures. So lots of good stuff. You can come share some music and all of that. Overall, it's a Discord channel. Try to build a little bit of a community, and that is that. Next up, I guess I'm going to talk about the channel. So again, thank you very much, everybody. We are at 188 subscribers now. I was at like 300, I don't know, 30 when I came back, and seeing the growth has been fantastic. So thank you very much. 1.2K on the last two videos, absolutely blowing my mind. Thank you so much. Now, a quick little thing about this. My channel banner and logo and all that stuff have been kind of older, from about 2020. I might be doing a bit of an update on those, so I just wanted to say, if you see some changes to my logo or my icon, it's not going to be a big change. I love my little fire mage. I think it's going to be this fire mage going forward, but it might look a little bit different. So just be prepared to see maybe a little bit of stylistic change around here. Next up, let's talk about rotation. Let's talk about EOE. And more importantly, let's talk about the land situation. So Edge of Eternities is coming, and when it comes in, we're going to have standard rotation. And a lot of people have been talking about the cards that are rotating out. A lot of people have been talking about new spoilers, which I'm going to talk about a little bit on my own in a minute. But what I haven't really seen too many people talking about is the lands. And the lands, we're going to see quite an imbalance in the resources available to the colors in the format, at least until more sets start rolling out over the next 6 months or a year. Here is what the lands, the good lands, are going to look like. Of course, there are going to be lots of lands. There are going to be other lands that you could put in, the scry lands and whatnot. But these are going to be the main lands. And I think I didn't mess up. I'm pretty sure I grabbed all the ones that are going to be legal in standard starting from next week. And as you can see right off the bat, there are 3 colors that have a big advantage over the other colors that we'll see in a minute. Boros, Orzhov, and Simic are all going to have 4 prime lands to be able to choose from. In my past videos, I said that fast lands were going to be rotating out, but that was actually wrong. Some of the fast lands are rotating out, but some of the fast lands are sticking around. The Simic one, the Orzhov one, and of course the Boros one. I think there might be a couple other ones. We're also keeping the Golgari one over here, and we are also keeping the Izzet one. So 5 of the fast lands are going to be sticking around. These are some of the most powerful lands in Magic that are usually in the standard format. Of course, they're not original dual lands, but they are extraordinarily powerful. In addition to these dual lands, we are also getting shock lands, and I'll talk a little bit more about the shock lands in a minute, but everybody knows also that these are very powerful. We are getting the Boros one, we are getting the Orzhov one, and we are getting the Simic one. So you can see having access to a fast land and a shock land is going to make these colors awesome. So if you're looking to build a deck and you want to be competitive, you want to be a little bit sweaty, probably these colors are going to be where you want to be sitting. And if you want to go 3 color, Mardu, red, white, black, is looking awfully sweet. I think that's going to be pretty cool. It might be Zergo's time to shine. I would love to play some Zergo. If we can get a Zergo mobilized deck going, oh man, that'll be the sweetest thing. In addition to the shock lands, we also have these surveil lands. Now, the surveil lands are going to be on the weaker side because they do come in tap, but in some strategies, they are going to be great. So they are notable to say. I think most decks are going to just be running your 3 lands here. Ignore that. That was me. I forgot to close Facebook, and that's a friend messaging. The Verge lands, notably, will work very well with the shock lands. The shock lands are mountain plains or whatever. They have the land type in the text box. That means when you put out a Sunbillow Verge, for example, the activate only if you control a mountain or plains is going to be absolutely huge. So the Sacred Foundry and the Sunbillow Verge, or the Bleachbone Verge with the Godless Shrine and so forth, are going to work extraordinarily well. Now, if we go down a little bit onto the other lands, well, you see Izzet, Gruul, Golgari, and Dimir are going to be doing okay. They're going to have to rely a little bit on the shock land and the verges. They don't necessarily have, well, some of them have the fast land, some of them are going to have verges. So the mana bases are just going to be a little bit clunkier here, but I still think if you have access to these lands, you're probably okay. So here. But the 3 colors that are really going to be suffering, of course, are going to be Selesnya, Azorius, yeah, and Rakdos. That's a little sad here. The Rakdos only having access really to the Verge land and then Surveil land, so turning on the Verge is going to be a little bit tricky. Going this way is going to be quite hard to have a consistent mana base. With the Orzhov, I don't think they really care too much because the Orzhov list doesn't mind running the Meticulous Archive. They don't care if their lands are coming in tap most of the time. So the Verge plus the Archive, the mana base will be about what it is now, but it's going to be a little bit weaker because they are going to be losing like the Pain land, for example, and I guess the Fast land. And then Selesnya aggro lists are going to also suffer because they don't want to be playing this Surveil tap land. So it'll be interesting to see how these 3 colors do over the next 2, 4, 6 months until we start seeing some other sets rolling out. I'm sure we're going to get the full sweep of Shocklands eventually. So once Temple Garden, for example, comes in for the Selesnya decks, they might just be on, life support. And that means Starting Town is going to be a land that a lot of these decks are going to have to rely on. But Starting Town, although it's a good land, it's doing a lot of damage. And then when you consider that maybe some of these other decks might be putting in Starting Town plus a Shock land, they're going to be doing a lot of self-damage to themselves. And I want to put out just a quick little warning to people who haven't maybe played with Shocklands before. If you thought Painlands were doing a lot of damage to you, wait until you are doing 2, 4, maybe even 6 damage to yourself in a game with these Shocklands. On top of that, maybe activating a starting town, going up to 7 or more damage to yourself. I think new players are going to be in for a little bit of a rude awakening when they realize just how painful your mana base can actually be. So a little word of caution. Be careful with your mana bases, be careful with your Shocklands, and be careful with your pseudo Painlands over here in the form of starting town. And what does that mean? Well, that might mean that a Boros burn deck might actually be something to look into. It's going to be one of the first decks that I look into because I think people are going to be doing plenty of damage to themselves. And if a Boros burn deck doesn't need to do 20 damage, it only needs to do 16, 15 damage. That is actually pretty cool if people are doing so much damage themselves. And that brings me to the last thing that I want to talk about in this video, and that is, oh, of course it's not going to, let me see if I can get it to work, but hey, there it goes. Spoilers. Now, lots of people, lots of YouTubers and whatever have put up their, reviews of all the cards that have been coming out, and I don't want to go over everything, but I do want to talk about 5 cards that I am looking forward to coming out in EOE next week. The first one being the Frenzied Baloth. I think there's no surprise that this card is going to be right up my alley. It is an awesome green aggro card, can't be countered, trample haste. It gives all of your other creature spells can't be countered, and then combat damage can't be prevented. That might actually be relevant in some matchups. I've already seen some YouTubers putting up mono green aggro list builds in the pre-release preview window, whatever they call it, for Wizards of the Coast and their event. It is a sweet card. I think it's going to do a lot of work, and it might actually bring green into a little bit of prominence. Additionally, with green, we have this card, Ouroborid. Boroid? I don't know how to say this, but it is a pretty sweet plant worm mythic creature. Now, it is expensive. It's 2 green, but it is a 1/3, and it says at the beginning of combat on your turn, put X +1/+1 counters on it for each creature, or on each creature you control, where X is this creature's power, if I could speak. If you even just putting this out for 4 and you have a board of a few different creatures, this is going to pump everything up +1 the first time, and if it survives the next turn, pumping everything up just 2, I think if your opponent is stumbling, this card is just going to win. It's going to be a powerhouse in limited, of course, but that's limited. But I think it really has a potential as a top end in some mono green aggro decks. I'm really excited to see what this does, and if we do find a way to pump it up with some level of consistency, and on that first tick it does +3 counters to all of our creatures, it's going to be insane. So this card I'm really excited about. Running off of what I said about mono red or Boros red burn being a thing, I think the Nova Hellkite also has a tremendous amount of potential. It might look a little expensive on the surface, but I think on the top end for a Boros deck or a mono red deck, this could be massive. It is 3 red, but we don't really care about that. Sure, we might actually cast it out for its full cost from time to time, but it's that warp cost that I'm really interested in. Warp 2 and a red, we put this onto the field. It is a 4/5 flying haste dragon. It can deal 1 damage to a creature that an opponent controls. That might be relevant, probably it's not. We really care about the fact that it's going to be doing 4 haste damage in the sky on turn 3, and then if the game starts going late, it could be a really good resource to throw out on turns 5, 6, 7, whatever, to end the game. So I think the Nova Hellkite has tremendous potential, and it might replace Screaming Nemesis, or at least work very well with Screaming Nemesis. I think we're kind of going to get away from the low aggro aspect of mono red or Boros red. We're not going to have Swift Spear anymore. So maybe loading up on a whole bunch of burn spells and a Nova Hellkite to end the game might actually be a pretty cool thing to see in Standard. The next 2 cards that I want to talk about, Sir Vondem Sunstar Exemplar. This card is just kind of neat. It's a human knight in Orzhov. It is a 2/2 for white and a black, and it has Vigilance and Menace. So many words on this card for 2 mana. It just seems like a really push card that's going to work really well in a sacrifice shell, like with Sephiroth. Whenever another creature you control dies or is put into exile, that's fantastic. That means that if people are playing Rest in Peace, this card doesn't really care anymore. Put a +1/+1 counter on Sir Vondum and you gain 1 life. In fact, it might kind of work with Ketramos. There's so many things that I think this card can end up doing. Next, when Sir Vondum dies or is put into exile, again, same thing, that put into exile on death to prevent, Torch the Tower shenanigans, for example. While its power is 4 or greater, which I think you can probably pull off if you're playing a sacrifice deck, destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. It can hit artifacts, it can hit enchantments, it can hit creatures. Oh my god, this card has so much potential, and I can't wait to see what this human knight does. It's a knight. Knights might actually be relevant. Maybe not, but it's going to be a cool night nonetheless. And the last card that I want to talk about is another cool human card, the Cosmogrand Zenith. Cosmogrand? Is that how you say it? It is 2 and a white for a 2/4 human soldier. 2 very awesome relevant keywords. And this says, when you cast your second spell each turn, choose 1. Create 2 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens. It's making human soldiers. So often when these cards are producing tokens, they produce soldiers. But a friend of mine pointed out these are humans, and my friend was absolutely right. Human tokens is going to be huge, and although it might not be super relevant in Standard, it's kind of getting me excited to go back to Pioneer and try that out a little bit. Additionally, you can also choose the other mode, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. So if you've already gone wide and on that turn when you cast your second spell, maybe it's just a way to end the game. So I'm very excited about these 5 cards. I think all of them have tremendous potential. There were more cards that I did kind of look at. I don't know, should I? Yeah, does it show up? No, it doesn't show up because for some reason it's blocked out. It doesn't matter. I haven't bookmarked. I didn't want to go over all the cards. I just wanted to pick my top 5 cards that I think are the most interesting. So that is this quick little video. I actually have 2 more videos in the works. They are uploaded already, coming out. One of them is going to be coming out on Friday, and the other one will be coming out on Sunday. I'm just doing like every 2 days 1 video. And I'm going on a bit of vacation, which I mentioned in one of my last videos. So I am going to be kind of missing the start of Edge of Eternities, but whatever. There's going to be plenty of people putting out content. Next week, near the tail end, I will definitely start pumping out a bunch of videos. What I'm sure is going to happen is I'm going to spend some time in the car or while on vacation messing around with various decks, and hopefully that'll give me a nice basis of decks that I can then come back home, throw up the camera, throw up the green screen, and start recording some videos about Edge of Eternities and showing you the kinds of decks that I think are interesting and doing some fun stuff in this new standard post-rotation format. Got there. Anyways, one more time, thank you to all the people that have joined up and all the people who are watching my videos. By the way, what do you think about this thumbnail? Me making the face on the Bloodthirsty Conqueror's shield. As soon as I saw that there was like a sad face on the shield, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to put up a silly thumbnail of myself on there. In fact, I'm going to try to keep doing some sillier things. I don't want this boring kind of thumbnail anymore. Let's kind of get into the art, I think is the plan. Anyways, that's it for this one. Hope you enjoy the warm summer heat. I hope the weather's good for you. I hope the weather's good for me next week because I'm trying to get outside and do some stuff. Join up in the Discord. Join my weight loss journey, health journey, whatever you want to call it, channel, and let's talk about that together. Share some news about Magic, all your EOE spoilers and cards you're looking forward to, all that good stuff. Take care for now, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.